Today we're going to be making another Swedish classic dish which is called Öjebyröra, and this is fantastic as a side dish for something you want to eat. We usually have it for midsummers, we have it for Christmas, and for the Swedish crayfish parties this is fantastic. This one is just a side dish, so this is roughly 8 servings with macros of 197 calories, 13 grams of proteins, 2 grams of carbs and 14 grams of fat. And it's actually really easy to make. We're going to start off by making our own mayonnaise, and we're going to use 1 egg, then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, some salt and 2.5 deciliters of neutral oil. And of course you can buy pre-made mayonnaise. We're not going to need all of this. Roughly we're going to need 100 grams or 1 deciliter. I just prefer making my own, and you can keep it and use it for something else. But we're going to need some sort of special ingredients for this as well, which is, first of all, we're going to need some crayfish tails. Crayfish or cancer as it's also called. If you can find the Swedish crayfish version, you can use what's called Gambieri rossi or even scampi, but we're going to need 500 grams of these crayfish tails, and we're just going to drain them from the liquid and put them on a cutting board and chop them up roughly. And then we're going to need some other special ingredients, and the second one is called Västerbottenost, which is a very special cheese in Sweden. But guessing that you can't find Västerbottenost either, you can use an Italian cheese that's called Piave Vecchio or even a Comté cheese. So, in with our crayfish tails in a bowl, and then we're going to add 100 grams of this Västerbottenost. And this is pre-grated, so we're just gonna dump that in. And then we're going to add 1 deciliter of our mayonnaise, or roughly 100 grams. And then we're going to add the zest from 1 lemon. Just grate that in. And then we're moving on to our next special ingredient, which is Skåne aquavit, which is a Swedish spicy liquor. And if you can't find that either, you can use another Italian ingredient, which is called mistra, which is an Italian liquor, or kCal, or even a dry pastis. So 2 tablespoons of that, and then we're going to add roughly 8 to 10 grams of dill, and that's fresh dill, which we're just going to chop up roughly and add to that as well. And it's a good idea to make this the day before, because if this sits in the refrigerator overnight, it's going to be much better. I'm also going to add some salt to this, and then all we need to do is just stir everything together. And as I said, this is fairly easy. We have 1 step left, and that is some caraway seeds. But I'm gonna add them tomorrow, so I'm just gonna place this in the fridge overnight. And here, next day, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cumin, as it's called in Swedish, but which I guess is caraway seeds in English. So 1 tablespoon, which sounds like a lot, but it's gonna be fine. And we don't need to super crush them, just roughly give them a bashing. And then once that's done, all we need to do is sprinkle them in and give that a nice stir. And I know that this doesn't look that fancy, but it's actually super nice. So I hope you tried, and if you do, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching.